children questions. That's why, what is
We had
this?
this discussion before.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what is your name? Where do you live? You know, that kind of thing. And in fact, questions are one of the most, they're emotionally challenging, like the word interrogation.
Exactly.
They're constantly being questioned. And the children do not know what to say. So the typical thing that you see in classes with children with autism is that they name things no matter what's being asked. So if they say, what is the boy doing? They say boy. You say, no. What is the boy doing? As if they didn't hear you. And they'll say blue because he's got a blue shirt on. So they're giving you the categories that they've been taught to talk in. Right. Names and colors. So when I was analyzing this, I said, they don't know what to say to different questions. So what I did was develop a system, and it's in a manual we have on ASD reading called Unlocking Language. We haven't put that in software form for a variety of reasons, but it's a very comprehensive manual that teaches the sequence of how to teach the sequence of language. So, for example, what I decided was that the way to help the children learn would be to show them the way the words implicitly that are carried down should be made explicit so the child knows what to say. For example, if you're saying, what is the boy doing? The answer is going to be, the boy is sitting. So you're carrying down the and the boy and the is and the ing.
Right. They're putting it in context instead of just the single one-word answer that's not related to anything else.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, so, and if you ask the question, which one is a boy? The answer will be, this one is a boy, and there have to be other figures around that are not boys, and so on. So when I realized that, I said, but they have to be speaking in sentences. So before we even teach questions, we teach children how to say sentences. And one of the things, and I'll say to parents, and they, when I first meet them, they'll look at me as if I'm out of my mind. I'll say, we have to get your child up to imitating 8 to 10 word sentences before he can answer a question, because he has to hold that much information in mind in order. He's got to hold the question and the answer in mind to answer the question. So the child has to be up to 8 to 10 words. So we'll do it by teaching him sentences like, here is a boy. They have to just imitate. The boy is standing. Here is a dog. He is not standing. And then we'll eventually get to things like, here is a dog and there is a cat, and so on. Once we get the child smoothly imitating the production of sentences, then we can start question asking. So it's into the intervention before we even raise questions. And in the meantime, I say to parents, don't ask questions. And they look at me and they say, well, then he won't think. And I said, first of all, questions don't make you think, they frighten you. And I said, how, I've spoken, it was really interesting. I remember years ago, I spoke to a woman whose child was totally nonverbal. And she asked him hundreds of questions every day. And I said to her, because that's what you do when you have a non-speaking person or a non-speaking organism. That's why people question their dogs, but they actually get a response from their dog. They'll say, would you like to go out, Rover? They don't. They do it all when you have a non-speaking organism, you want to ask questions. Mm-hmm. And I said, has she ever answered one question? And she said, no. I said, why don't you stop? And she couldn't stop. It
was ingrained in their relationship at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. And very often when I'll start with parents, I'll say, do not ask questions. And they say, well, so what can I do? I said, just comment. Just say something like, oh, you look so comfortable there. Oh, it's such a nice pillow, or whatever. Just simple sentences, slow, and not flooding the child with language. Many of the parents say within 2 to 3 weeks, they're amazed that the language production of the children increases.
Wow.
And that's because
the anxiety goes down.
Exactly. And the child begins to listen more because he's not under pressure. And as he listens, he begins to speak more. So it's very, I think what we need to do is very different than what is usually done.